Hello from the National Weather Service Chicago office located in Romeoville. This is Matt, and it is 7:30 a.m. on January 2nd. We are just going to cover the ongoing lake effect snow event in northeast Illinois, including Chicagoland and northwest Indiana. As we look at the early morning radar, we'll see snow showers across the Chicagoland area. Also, as we look upstream, you'll note a lake effect band trying to develop. This likely will come to fruition and work its way southward during midday and point itself into northeast Illinois and then eventually into northwest Indiana as we get into this evening. And what that will do is greatly increase snowfall rates even from what they are right now. They'll be temporary, but they'll be likely very high. As we look at the forecast snow placement through mid to late afternoon, again, the heaviest snow basically within 40 miles of the lakeshore because the lake is driving the snow. So the snow axis will move into northeast Illinois, northwest Indiana, gradually rotate eastward as we get into the evening hours, mainly focusing by that point into Indiana. Total forecast snowfall is quite variable near the lake, and that's classic with lake effect snow events. So we have 4 to 10 inches noted in those lake adjacent counties, but again, the aerial coverage of what sees up there towards 8 and 10 will likely be very small. The 4 to 8 will speak for a lot of areas, expect a little bit on the lower end towards Porter County, but for the most part can expect some big totals, and some of it coming in a very short amount of time. Note the snowfall totals as you head further south away from the lake, just showing the aggressive lake effect nature that it's spreading snow that far inland. So the headlines that are in effect, lake effect snow headlines are in effect for northeast Illinois and far northwest Indiana. That includes Chicago. As we head west across north central Illinois, including Rockford, wind chill advisory is in effect for tonight into Friday morning. And as we look at those forecast wind chills as we get into the wee hours of Friday morning, we'll see 15 to 25 below zero across north central Illinois, and then 0 to 15 below south of Chicago and southeast. And again, this is the wind chill temperature, which is a combination of the winds and the temperatures on the body. So the impacts in the next 24 to 36 hours, again, lake effect snow here today is the big one for Chicago. Snowfall amounts 3 to 8 inches. Some areas are likely to get a little higher than that, but they'll be a pretty focused area. This will last into tonight for northwest Indiana too, and this will definitely lead to treacherous roads at times, namely because of the cumulative effects of the snow. These heavy rates on top of what has already fallen will cause some issues. The bitterly cold that is coming in, we expect temperatures to be very chilly as you get into tonight, as low as minus 18 out by Rockford. Then we expect that by Friday temperatures will very slowly warm, but still, given the low degree of wind chills and the ideal setup, this is potentially a dangerous situation with wind chills for exposed skin for too long of a time. And as we look beyond that, this winter continues onward as a very cold air shot right there punches in at the tail end of the weekend and into early next week. This will bring some of the coldest air potentially in years to Chicagoland, with the very real possibility of staying below zero on 1 or 2 days early next week. And we haven't been below zero for an entire day since way back in 2009. Again, it's 7:30 a.m. on January 2nd. Thank you for joining me for this multimedia weather briefing. Now, forecast information is going to shift, especially when it comes to lake effect snow areas and total snowfall amounts as we go through today. So be sure to check back to our website, which is weather.gov/Chicago, as well as stay tuned in with our social media platforms, including YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.